There, this is Levidan 45 again. This is part 3 of my tutorial. I want to explain a bit the last procedure I did, because when I reviewed the video, I noticed that my hand was in the way and you weren't able to see very much what I did. Okay, so this is the last part. I still have plenty of thread left, but I'm gonna do this part so that you guys can see what I did. This is where I finished. I already went around my piece again, and what I do to finish is where I came up, where my thread came up front. You can see there's like an intersection here with these 4 pieces. Okay, so what I do is I put my needle through that hole and it comes up the other way. Okay, that is what I do. I just put my needle in through here and it comes up through this side. Okay, and what I do, once I have my needle here, I locate one of the strips where I can join, or where I can tie off. Okay, so what I do is I put my needle through here. Okay, I take it, and I have here, you see that I have here my thread right across, right? So what I do is I put my needle in through there. Okay, just put my needle through there and I take it out, and I form like a loop here. Okay, you see the loop here? Let me try to get it with my finger. Here I go. See, I have a loop there. With that loop, I do my knot. Okay, so I just insert my needle through that loop, and I pull. I hold my thread, the one that was lying here, I hold it with my finger, and I do a knot there. Okay, and I pull onto it. Okay, I do that 2 times. Insert my needle. Okay, when I have my loop, I insert my needle through the loop, I hold my thread down, and I pull on my thread so it can make the knot. Okay, and that is my knot. Okay, that's the way I secure, that's the way I knot off, and then I cut the thread. Okay, but I'm not going to cut now because we already sewed the front part, but I have to sew the inside part also, because if I don't sew it, you see what happens? You see this here, how they like go over, like they open? I have to sew the same thing I did out here, I have to do it inside. So what I do, I just go where I came up through the needle. In that case, what I would do is I'd go in through the hole, I wouldn't tie, and I would just keep on sewing. And after I finish this round, then I would tie off my thread. I just tied it so I can show you guys how you do it. Okay, so I have my needle here, so I'm just gonna go and start sewing. I put my thread through here, and I go up. This is a little bit more difficult because you're on the inside, but it's basically the same. I went up, now I go sideways. Okay. And this one is a bit harder because the ring is smaller. The ring here, it's smaller. When it's a longer ring, it makes it a little bit easier to do. Okay, just go sideways. When you have a needle that has a sharp point, you have to make sure you don't rip your papers, especially these, the ones, the candy wrappers, because you can rip them. And sideways. And this is done all the way around until you finish. Okay? and you pull onto it to make sure it's hard enough, it's tight enough. Not too tight to rip your pieces, but tight enough to make your purse a little bit more secure. Okay. In the inside, it's a little bit harder to see where you started, but you will notice because the pieces, when you fold when you try to open it, you'll notice that it won't open. See, these are already sewn. See how they don't open? See the difference from here to here? Okay? That's what I did not do on my other candy wrapper purse, the big one, the tote bag, because that was one of the first ones I did, and I wasn't too expert in this, and I hadn't done much of my research. See, this is another thing that should not happen. This right here. You see this little loop thread? I didn't pull my threads very well. I don't see if you see it there. You can see that little loop right there, right here. There's a little loop of the thread. I didn't pull it tight enough, and it's just sticking out. That should not happen. Okay? Okay, and this, you keep on doing it all around. And be careful with your needle, because I just jabbed myself with the needle. Okay, so I already came to the beginning, because how do I know? Because when I open, they don't open. See, they stay stuck together. Okay, so what I do is the same thing I did at the beginning. I tie it. This one's going to be a little bit hard to tie because I've got very little string. And I put my needle through the loop, and I tie a knot, which I don't know how I'm going to do it with this little thread, but I'll do something. Okay, it's kind of impossible because the thread is too small, so I'm going to have to cut it. This needle is like, okay. Here what I do is I'll just take these two threads and I'll make a knot with these two threads. There's no problem with that. I'll just tie a normal knot because I already looped it around the thread. And that's it. And then I cut this. Okay, and there I got my two together. Okay, these pieces, don't worry about that because they will hide. So I've got my two pieces. Now I need to put these two pieces together this way. Okay, but this one I still have to do the inside because the inside hasn't been done. So I'm just going to leave it up to here, and in my next one I'll have these two together. Okay, I'll have them joined together, and when you have them joined together, you have to close your bottom part. This bottom part, you have to close it and put the zipper on the top part. So that'll be another tutorial, okay? So take care, guys. God bless you, and see you later. Bye-bye.